When examining a company, it is important to look internally for factors that can aid in company's growth while simultaneously locating factors that could have negative effects on the company's performance. When looking at Redbox, we felt that creating an internal factor evaluation was appropriate, and in doing so, we focused on the strengths that Redbox possesses, along with the weaknesses that exist in their current business model.
Within the internal factor evaluation, we assigned a weight to each strength and weakness where the sum had to equal 1. From there, we assigned a ranking to each factor to show its importance. The final step is represented in the total weighted score column, and this is where we multiplied the weight and the ranking. This provides us with a score that better allows us to compare the factors. Redbox has within their corporate structure. For starters, Redbox has an extremely loyal customer base. These loyal customers consist of DVD users along with people who are just Redbox fans. Let's focus on the DVD users first. These are a niche group because in a rapidly digitizing era, there are still people out there who prefer using the physical disc. As we mentioned before, discs can be a way for people to regulate their movie watching as well. It is also important to consider people who live in locations where internet connectivity can be weak, so streaming may not be an option for them. Another strength we will focus on is Redbox's strong market share. I mentioned earlier that Redbox currently possesses a 94% market share within the DVD rental market. As it stands today, Redbox is one of the few DVD rental businesses that is even in business anymore. The few other companies that are still in business do not have nearly as many locations as Redbox. Redbox has managed to retain a strong business relationship with their retailers over the years, adding another strength to their internal organization. This is so important for Redbox in order to stay competitive. Redbox was able to establish a deal with Paramount Pictures this past year. The deal grants Redbox access to content that Paramount Pictures produces days before the content is distributed to other movie retailers and streaming services. On top of the content producers, Redbox must retain a good relationship with the stores that house their kiosks. I think the results speak for themselves, and if Redbox did not maintain a good relationship, they would not have over 40,000 locations. I think a reason that stores are willing to house these Redbox kiosks is because they have such low overhead and Redbox handles all of the maintenance. Amazingly, Redbox continues to maintain a strong financial performance, even with the huge streaming companies like Netflix becoming the new norm. The market that Redbox operates in is highly competitive, but they show no signs of slowing down, and their service is still used by many people every day. Going along with their strong financial performance, Redbox continues to remain profitable because new movies are made every day, and people who are constantly on the go want to be able to watch them from the comfort of their own home. Another strength possessed by Redbox is their ability to maintain strong control over their inventory. That being said, Redbox is distributing millions of discs to their kiosks across the country, so they must have sufficient logistics in place to ensure deliveries go smoothly. As for the volume of the discs being delivered, Redbox is maintaining a good variety of movies at all of their kiosks, so there is an option for everyone. One of Redbox's greatest strengths is their convenience factor. There are so many kiosk locations across the country, placed in strategic, high-traffic areas such as grocery stores and shopping malls, so you can be almost guaranteed to find one at a location near you. This is also great for those consumers who lack Wi-Fi, and streaming is not a good fit for them. They also appeal to the older generation who is not as tech-savvy and who prefer a physical disc compared to a digital copy. The final strength that I will discuss is Redbox's competitive cost basis. Compared to Netflix and Hulu, who offer monthly subscriptions starting around $10 a month, a single Redbox DVD can be rented for roughly $2. This puts the control in the consumer's hand, and they can watch as many or as few movies as they want. And as I mentioned before, Redbox has very little overhead due to their lack of brick-and-mortar stores. Instead, the kiosks require very little electricity to run and are serviced on a monthly basis. The monthly servicing is also price effective because during servicing, new DVDs can be added to the kiosk, allowing Redbox employees to spend minimal time at the kiosk itself. Now we will examine some of Redbox's internal factors that we perceive to be weaknesses. The first and the most obvious is their lack of focus on a streaming service. Redbox has recently begun a streaming service. However, it is not receiving the level of traffic that its competitors are receiving. This is expected due to their service being relatively new. Since the service is so new, there are costs that Redbox is incurring in order to set this up, because it is so different than their original business model. It is likely that in the near future, Redbox's streaming service will be competitive with the other streaming services. However, until they put more focus on their streaming platform, it will remain a weakness for them. Another weakness that we have identified is Redbox's lack of original content. Yes, Redbox has just released their first original movie. However, Netflix and Amazon have already released hundreds of their own originals. This puts Redbox at a disadvantage because they are still acting as a distributor of the movie, which means they are still responsible for paying companies like Paramount for their content. Redbox understands that there are high costs associated with producing original content, but they will have to incur those in order to yield higher returns on their rental service. As they say, you have to spend money to make money. One weakness that could be detrimental to Redbox if they do not pick up their presence in the streaming industry is that DVDs are slowly becoming obsolete. Within the next 50 years, there will likely be no more DVD players in people's homes due to their smart TVs and streaming devices. If this is the future, Redbox's kiosk business model would also become obsolete if there is no demand for physical DVDs. That is why it is so necessary for Redbox to expend a lot of resources into their streaming platform so they can ensure longevity for their business. Something to think about when considering the kiosk business model is the lack of security. We feel that the kiosks themselves pose as a weakness due to their vulnerability. Yes, due to their locations near stores and busy areas, it is unlikely that someone will break into a kiosk or even outright take it, but the inventory can be easily stolen from home. What this means is that people are renting a DVD from the kiosk, however they are not returning it. Instead, they are making copies of the barcodes on the disc and inserting a fake disc with the barcode attached back into the case and returning it to the kiosk. This is not the case for every renter. However, if even a few people are doing this consistently, Redbox could feel the losses. Redbox advertises that you are able to rent the newest movies from them at a low price, and this is great if you are someone who is big into pop culture and if you are waiting for the newest movies. However, there are many people out there who want to watch older movies that may be one of their favorites. Also, people like to watch TV series, and Redbox is not offering these at their kiosks. If these options are not available, customers may opt to use a streaming service to have a larger variety. I mentioned before that one of Redbox's strengths was their inventory control and how they have so many physical copies so they can keep their kiosk loaded. However, a weakness that is related to this is the limited space in the kiosk. We are not worried about not having enough copies of a single movie. Instead, we are worried that only 20 to 25 options in a kiosk is not enough for some people. As I mentioned before, some people like older content and TV series, and with limited space in the kiosks, Redbox is forced to choose the newest content to appeal to a larger audience. Again, we see a weakness in Redbox that could push their customers to begin using a larger streaming service such as Netflix, who has thousands of options available at the click of a button. The final weakness that I will be discussing is more of an inconvenience factor for Redbox. This issue is that they need to send a driver to all of the kiosks to load them. I did mention earlier on the strengths portion that they did have strong logistics in place to make this an efficient process. However, no matter how efficient the process is, Redbox must still expel manpower to have the kiosks repaired and restocked, which costs them money and is more time consuming than if new content can be digitally uploaded to a streaming platform.